Hey everybody, welcome back to Greatest Good Tarot. Yes, it's almost here, people. It's almost flipping out. Has anyone else got to a point, please share down below, where may have overdone on the kind of like, it's not necessarily the amount of money, but the amount of items to wrap now. Has anyone else kind of like looked at the mound of tat that they've purchased and went, this is going to be a lot of sellotape here. Other sticky substances are available? I don't know. Anyway, the point is merry, yay, almost wonderful, yay. I'll be so glad to burn it. It'd be nice. It's wonderful. So we have the snow, we have the bells. It's all great. And yeah, what are you up to? What are you going to do this Christmas? Share down below. Just enjoy it and that kind of thing. I hope you're having fun and trying to keep out of mischief. It is that almost time malarkey. We've had some technical difficulties over here. There's a weird crackle. And I've been, it was brought to my attention in the comments and stuff like that. I'm like, what crackle? What is, and it turned out, and this is going to get very technical, it turned out I was listening to the wrong mix while recording. So I wasn't hearing the crackle. I then suddenly found the crackle. And then it's been a whole day, bearing in mind I was promised mulled wine today. We have multiple bottles that we're going to get rather drunk. But no, it hasn't happened yet, mainly because I have been trying to find where the crackle is. There is no crackle right now. This is why we're now recording. However, I cannot promise, because I don't know what the problem was causing it, to say convincingly that I have fixed it. So it's one of those ones where it's like, we're going now because we've wasted enough time today. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having fun. If you are traveling, please be safe and be well and all that jazz. And don't forget, there is a final one tomorrow, and then that's it. While other Christmas advent calendars cheap out and go just to the 24th. Oh, no. We're going one more, just for the fun of it. And then I'm going on a break. Lots of travelling as well over here with her indoors. It's craziness. Anyway, today's mystery person is Prince William. Yes, I know. Isn't that nice? So Prince William, if you're new here, where have you been? There is a link down below to the playlist. You can watch them all over that awkward week between Christmas and New Year and all that jazz. Also, I have today, while I was trying to reboot things and stuff like that, we have also rebooted the live stream over on Newswiki. There will be a link down below as well. So that's the live stream on all the petitions and stuff like that, because we're all together now. So let's support each other, because I find it weird that, like, especially the winter fuel stuff and the waspy women and all that kind of stuff. That's another one added there. These people, a lot of these people affected are not very technical minded. It's not an ageist thing. It's just they're just not into it. So it's like, while we're together, the grandkids can support the grandmas, nans, granddads, whatever, to get an email address so they can sign up for themselves and all that kind of stuff. And it's all available over on Newswiki. So there we go. There's a link there, and that will be up, hopefully, he says confidently, all until at least the new year. Who knows what's going to happen there? So, fun times. And also, Santa Tracker is on this channel over here. That's another one that's causing mischief. But there, it's fine. But I don't care. I'm just going to be frightfully drunk with mince pies. I have mint pies. I have mulled wine. I am in a happy place as soon as I start having them. So let's get into it. For the greatest good for all concerned, let's have a look for Prince William. Ooh. Spring is very Very strong. That feels like with his brother. And there's Daddy. Right. So, the Emperor is Charlie Boy. Overarching energy is the different perspective, new way of doing things, that kind of stuff. So, right. So the Knight of Pentacles, let me get the other dinky deck. The Knight of Pentacles and the Magician, definitely hitting the ground running. Definitely, this feels as if it's a mega project. I don't know if it feels kind of like a modernizing thing. It feels quite bold. That's what I would say, bold and kind of modernizing. I don't know if this is going to be in kind of like the public domain as such, but it feels as if it's sorry, I'm being distracted by Winter with the Five of Wands, the family feud fighting thing. So the Knight of Pentacles and the Magician for spring, please. So he's like, he wants to manifest this thing. He's putting the action in with the Magician. Oh, but he doesn't have all the facts. He doesn't have all the information with the coach on the wonk there. Technical term, people, technical term. But yeah, it feels as if there is some sort, I don't know if it's a streamlining thing but it feels as if, worried. That feels like everybody else affected by it. There's the idea, there's the light bulb, the aha moment, the Ace of Wands kind of energy. What's the other card here? Family, isn't it just? Yeah, this feels like a downsizing, a real kind of modernizing. I don't know if there's like a cull of more royals, kind of like even, so it's even more streamlined and it's very much kind of a, it just feels as if a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of kind of casualties in his kind of shake-up, his modernizing. Yeah, this feels like him and his brother. The Moon card, it feels like it's in the darkness. There's things that here, and it's coming, fruition with the Justice card. It feels very much in summer as if the energy I'm getting is I told you so. It's something to do with I told you so. It feels, the problem is with it being in the darkness and people not talking about it is that the energy is, and I've said this before, if you imagine kind of like a digital sound wave, when people don't want to talk about it, energetically kind of thing, it's a murmur. It's a very kind of, the energy around it is just like hush, hush. Just don't talk about it. Everything like this is like big off the scale, kind of Richter scale kind of thing. This here is like, ooh, don't talk about it. Whisper, whisper. But yeah, it's stuff coming to light here. It feels very much about his brother. Also, Andrew, Handsy Andy, as we like to call him now. Everyone's got a nickname. But yeah, it just feels like a lot of things on the down low. And it's one of those situations where it's almost like he's in charge of dealing with his brother, and I'm getting the feeling like Charlie Boy's in dealing with his brother, if you get me. Like the generational thing. Out in the cold, with the loneliness, isolated, cut out kind of energy. Family again. Very kind of... libation, kind of leaning into his faith a little bit there as well, to have the strength to go through it. But it does feel very much kind of like a balancing out. Along with this streamline here with family and then sweetheart with family, it's very much a situation where he knows where his loyalties lie now, kind of energy. It's very much, we don't need them, we don't need them, we don't need that one, we don't need that one. It's like, it's very much, and the justice stuff, I don't know when Harry's legal, because he's constantly in court. I don't know if it's in the summer where it's like in the darkness it comes out to light and it's like, enough's enough, goodbye kind of thing. But yeah, it feels kind of like, yeah, it just you've dug your hole, now you can sit in it kind of energy. The autumn, head down. This feels very much like a distraction. The Hierophant is organizations, organized religions. Rules, regs, that kind of thing. Law and order kind of energy. They've got their own ways of doing things, that kind of stuff. Here, this does feel very kind of the firm orientated this year. It's very much coming through and it's kind of an ongoing thing here from spring. The Hierophant is it feels like he is imposing the laws and the regulations and the rules and regs and all that kind of stuff. And he's doubling down. It feels like a double down on to really make it kind of fully implemented, I want to say. I think whatever's happening in spring, you and me, I don't think, realize or know about it until autumn, when it actually gets a logo, when it actually gets launched, as it were. If you get what I'm saying, it's that kind of energy. It does not feel like a charitable thing. It definitely feels kind of a streamline, and that's where this fright here, this streamline, kind of it's almost like a three strikes you're out kind of energy about it, because it's like enough's enough. But it's not just related to Harry. It's Handsy Andy. It's there's some I keep getting Kent. I can't remember what their titles are. Yeah. There's something about, and this is weird, right? And I'm just gonna say it so that we've got it captured, and then we can review it next year in 2025, right? It feels as if, even though they're limited to kind of like 6 people, like the working royals, it feels as if this here, spring and autumn, are very much reviewing the assets they have, like people. I'm getting Sophie, was it Prince Edward's missus? I'm getting Princess Anne. But they're like, it's one of those situations where, even though they're kind of legally bound by only kind of like a handful of people, working royals, it's almost as if they're trying to look for a kind of loophole kind of energy where they can, it's almost like they can they've got a flexible slot if you get me. So that it can, like, for 6 months of the year it's Sophie, for 6 months of the year it's Princess Anne, for 6 months it's I'm not saying it's those two, but it's definitely Sophie's involved in some way, shape, or form in autumn. They're seeing who they've got. They've got Catherine, obviously. They've, now back. They've got, the Queen Consort. They've got all that kind of stuff going on. So, but it's like finding a way to really bring their full kind of quality assets to the forefront in a way that kind of ticks the boxes on everybody. So I've just put it there, right? We've got it there. We can review it when we get there, kind of energy. But it's like, it's got something to do with that. Something to do with, like, more flexibility, more kind of bringing people to the forefront, learning from the mistakes of 24, when obviously Charlie Boy was off, Catherine was off. Do you know what I mean? It's okay, yeah. Death. Trapped. Feels like trapped. Kind of wanting to share privacy. This privacy here feels very much, or introvert, it feels very much like definitely setting the rules of like what is public knowledge, what is private, that kind of thing. I don't think it's, the death feels as if it's more winter than autumn. Definitely a finite situation. I think that's why he's putting this work in now, kind of to prepare. Because it's not an ageist thing necessarily. It's just the fact that when, you've got, I think this is where we're getting this flexibility thing from. It's because, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, it's like you've got quite a lot of active royals who are of a certain age, and then there's going to be this there's this void where, obviously Harry's buggered off, so and all that kind of stuff. So you've then kind of only got them two, and very few other kind of. So that's why there's this trying to find this flexibility, this kind of options. Because once that generation goes, the primary generation, as it were, the ones in charge right now, where the next generation, there's a void there for quite amount of years before, obviously Will's kids grow up, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? There's at least 10 years before they're kind of ready, as it were. Because they're like 8. They're kind of like single figures, aren't they? They're like 8, 9 kind of age range. The eldest, I don't really know, but you're still looking, like I said, you're still looking at about 10 years. So it's that kind of reorganization in some way, shape, or form. This is inward fighting. The Emperor is definitely Charlie Boy. Kind of looking at this kind of tit for tat kind of energy here. Because obviously some people are not going to be liking the changes, the ways things are, kind of thing, the new refresh. But like I said, the death definitely feels as if it's more winter. That really kind of brings it to the head, as it were. Plotting, planning, yeah, schedule. trying to manage this overarching energy. Blessing, stress, yeah. This blessing is for Charlie. This blessing feels as if it's like a relief. I don't know if it's one of those situations where it's kind of got the energy of him stepping down, which causes the Five of Wands. It's like Charlie's blessing because of all this madness, and then it's the getting organized to take over. It's like that sort of energy. The Death card, to kind of bring it back a little bit, because it is kind of feeling more here. The problem is it's coming through as like end of end of a cycle, end of a situation, end of a instead of a actual death, if you get me. But it definitely feels as if like it I've got to be careful because I like obviously personal, private. I always have a rule of like if it's not in the public domain, we don't talk about it, kind of thing. We kind of read around it, as it were. But there is definitely like it's kind of like it's either now or never kind of thing. If we transition now, so that they like Charlie Boy can just retire, as it were, I'm not going to say last days or anything, but it's like there's medical stuff kind of energy, right? So just yeah, but that's the blessing. It's like it's like, oh, okay, I can focus on that, and being comfortable and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Instead of stressing out. Yeah, it's that kind of energy. As we've started adding this at the end, we might as well add it now because it would be rude not to. Is the Kipper deck? Let's have a look at the 3 cards from the Kipper deck, please. 3 cards from the Kipper deck, please. Doopy-doopy-doo. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And obviously, if you're reading along, please share down below your thoughts about or any kind of particular things that you're picking up from this. So here we go. So we've got the main male, yeah. Bad health, yeah. This is what we House. This feels like the firm, the royal family. Oh, hello. Overarching energy, poverty. The poverty, the poverty, even. This feels as if these are the people being discarded up here. Hansy Andy, Harry. I think there's going to be a few others. But in general, it's like I said, it's the main male. That feels like Will. So it's like it's one of those situations where he's reviewing what's going on, and it's like, well, we've got this gap now, so we need to. Hence, going back to this flexibility thing, is there a way to kind of spread the load a bit to try and work this out? Because it's ridiculous now. We've got this amount of time that's going to be a very difficult transition, as it were. There's only 2 of them, for example. And then they've got 6 slots, and Princess Anne or whatever. But it's like, how can we kind of make it a bit more flexible for us? It's that kind of energy for the next 10 years or so. These people are filling out in the cold, yeah. Excuse me. Oh dear, sneeze. So I'm right on the money. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, they're out in the cold. They're not getting their like the money, the trinkets, the things, the access. They're gone. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we're going to leave it here, I think, because I feel like that's really encapsulated everything that Prince Will's on about at the moment. I just got this image of kind of like, it's like a wrecking ball. It's kind of like, this is how we're now going to do it because this is ridiculous what's going on. And like I said, there's more going on than we know, especially the moon, in the darkness kind of thing. But yeah, it feels like a huge. This is one for the history books. This is a big year. In just it's like I'm going back to the hierophant, the etiquette of it. That's what it feels like. The rules and regs and how the firm now works and who it reports to for what and stuff like that. It does feel quite it's quite an overhaul. It feels quite a dramatic kind of, but then at the same time I'm still seeing the uniforms of like the staff and the so it's like there's tradition still there, but it's like, yeah, it's a weird one. It's a real weird one because it's like it's still got the trinkets, but at the same time it's doing, yeah. Anyway, excuse me. So we'll leave it here. There's going to be one more tomorrow. I wonder what you can guess who that's going to be. But until next time, where we do this crazy shenanigans all over again, take care. Look after yourself. Be well. And thank you for your company. I'll speak to you soon. See you later. Ta-ra.